So this one is for you, Todd. Oh, by the way, I'm doing a pepper. Sorry. She thought it was bedtime. Wrong. Anyways, Todd, you kind of have backed me into a corner, and like a mongoose, I must attack. And my attack has to have a nice whippet tail. So this is a 7-pot Primo. This is by most, all accounts, a stupidly, ridiculously hot pepper. So I'm pretty excited about this one. No, okay, I'm wrong. No, I'm kind of terrified about this one. This one is characteristically like gnarly looking. It's got that weird, you can see like the tip of the tail. It's pretty crazy. So a little nerve-wracking because I had the Jonah last. That was my last pepper. I went on down south to see some family for 10 days, and I haven't really had that much hot stuff until today. So, needless to say, I had a harvest. You want to see? Yeah, so I would say I've got a ton of peppers. I've filled 5 boxes so far, and I got a couple more to go. So some people should be getting a pretty nice surprise in their mailbox come the end of the week. Anyways, I figured it's, what, 11:15 at night. Had a couple of brews, and I'm messing with peppers all day long. Might as well give the Primo a shot. So without further ado, let's split this bad boy open. I know a lot of you guys, there are a lot of people out here who just stick the pod in their mouth. Now, harvesting today, I've noticed a couple things. One, don't ever stick the pod in your freaking mouth, okay? Cut the thing open, make sure there's no bugs inside of it, and then put it in your mouth, because there were at least 4 pods that I pulled off these plants that looked perfect, but when I went and rinsed everything, I saw a tiny, like, microscopic size hole in the top by the almost where like the little shield thing is at the top right there, and then when I pulled it open, there's a caterpillar inside. So yeah, you want to get a mouthful of caterpillar, go right ahead, eat the whole pod. Anyways, so this thing's cut open, and it's crazy when the stem is crying. Yeah, it's almost like the stem has liquid in it. Here's the pod. It's pretty nasty. It's, yes, everybody who's ever eaten a Primo will tell you it's a tiny pod, so it's not that menacing. But then everybody also tells you that it's probably one of the hottest things they've ever eaten in their life. So let's see how this thing goes. This one only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seeds in this side. I'm going to pull just the seeds out of this. A couple people, it's another thing is when you bite into a pod, the last thing you want to do is to be chewing on a seed for 5 minutes of your life, because that is absolute misery. Worse than the pod. So this thing is dripping with oil. It's kind of tough to see with the camera, but it is as packed in, liquefied as I would, imagine the hottest of the hottest pods would be. So this tiny little thing. Oh, whatever, man. Thanks, Todd. Cheers. I just watched Comp Mutter eat one, like 11 minutes ago. It was, I'll link to the video where he ate that one in the Congo SR. The taste isn't. It's got a pretty good taste for it. Ooh, let me start the timer to tell you how much misery I'm going through. Kind of starts out, it's the typical 7-pot, and then no, it's not. It's freaking hot. Underneath the tongue is the first hit. A little bit in the teeth. Definitely under the tongue. Almost pulse-like. Oh, that sucked. Okay, I got tissues. Oh, wow. Really, really intense underneath the tongue. Starting to cry already. Pretty hot. My breath is hot. It's got a pleasant taste. I would say one of the better of the pods, taste-wise. Oh, wow. Very, very hot. Starting to get antsy. The heat is really, really concentrating underneath my tongue, attacking my salivary glands. My hands are starting to tingle a bit. Eyes watering. Getting very, very antsy. I want to kind of rock, almost Rain Man style. Not too much in the throat, although it feels like I'm breathing fire. It's more underneath the tongue, front of the mouth. Still building. My tears are flowing. Outside of the hands are kind of tingly. A little bit on the lips, not too bad. Not like the Scorponero where it was like really, really prominent on the lips. But it's really, really attacking the tongue. My legs are tingling. Feet are tingling. Lordy. Salivating pretty hard. It's continuing to build. About 4 minutes in, I can feel the tears rolling off my cheek. Nice and hot. Excuse me. Oh, only a couple of tissues left. Starting to die off a bit. Very, very hot. Oh, man. Now my tongue's almost starting to, like, tingle. Okay. About 5 and change. Very hot. Up there among the hottest, but not quite Jonah heat to me. It's really crazy. It's almost like pop rocks underneath my tongue and in my throat. Or, I mean, the back of my mouth. It hasn't really attacked my throat at all, which is interesting because 7 pots usually really hit my throat. Thanks, sweetheart. But this should probably be in the freezer. It's really crazy because like my like the back of my mouth is like tingling. Like it's not throat; it's all mouth. And we're out of milk. We do have some beer. A little bit of Rolling Rock. Alright. I think it's peaked. It's coming down. About 6 and change. Very, very hot. To me, not as hot as the Jonah. But I want to throw this out there. That is that's what makes this so awesome. I can eat a pod. I can be like hovering in my 6, 5, 4 range, and then Todd can eat it from my plant, and it can be in the top 2 or 3. He explained it awesomely. The capsaicinoids invoke a reaction to certain nerves in your mouth, in your throat. It can feel almost as if my mouth is on fire, like I'm putting it on a hot freaking grill. But it's a mental hit. If I could just overcome the mental reaction, you know, it wouldn't be hot. And honestly, some people just aren't affected by capsaicin or capsaicinoids. I've got sprayed with oleoresin capsicum, OC, military grade pepper spray. You can't buy this stuff indoors or in stores. And out of 200 people who are literally on the floor rolling and wondering if they're ever going to see again, I have a kid who finishes the obstacle course, walks over to the bucket of water, splashes a little bit on his face, pulls a dip out of his pocket, puts it in his lip, takes a towel, wipes it across his face, and says, "That was pretty good." So, I mean, visually witnessing somebody who can get hit with the highest amount, I mean, it's like 7 or 17 or whatever. It's a ridiculous percentage of pure capsaicin. And this guy just put a dip in his mouth and watched all of us writhe in agony. So certain capsaicins are going to hit certain people different ways. And that's one reason why I can never get enough of watching people do chili reviews, because I just ate a Primo and it was probably in my 5 to 7 range of heat level. And I watched Todd and he's like, this is just as hot as a Savannah, which I'm hoping to one day to give a shot, or to give it a shot. I only got like limited amount of time before I'm done with reviews for the season. So hopefully I can get a Savannah and just kind of compare. But it's beside the point. It's awesome. People like Todd, Steve. I mean, I watched what is it, Stand By and Fire? Steve eating a bubblegum. I mean, awesome, man. It's like he's just busting these reviews out. John, the Italian 556. I mean, I'm not a shout-out guy. I don't really care about subscriptions. I don't care about views. It's all about what can help you in your garden. If my review can help you to choose what seeds you want to grow, then hey, I'm happy. You know, don't ask for anything in return except for you just to share the heat. Brian, just a guy, about a year ago, sent me a pod. He sent me a yellow Trinidad Scorpion. So if you scroll back through my videos and you check the matte versus the yellow Trinidad Scorpion, that was my first pod hotter than a jalapeno. And He has literally created a chili head for life, and that's what I want to do. I I know I pontificated the. Oh, I got the rut. I mean, it's such a great feeling right now. Ha ha. My head's just tingling. My arm. I got like the hair standing up. But I'm telling you, it's menacing at first. It's crazy. I mean, look, I got a tin. Like this is a cake pan full of butch teas. I mean, it's menacing. It's like, oh my god, this is like the hottest chili peppers I got. I mean, and it's just a blast to share with people. For to have some dude check into the THP and say, hey, this is my first post. I'm from Wisconsin, looking where I can get some seeds and pointing them in the right direction. Or watching somebody who is their first season like mine. Like I've had the greatest mentors and people just watch me go from like complete and utter destruction, like zero. I killed. If you scroll back through my videos, I killed like the first 2 complete plantings in my garden. For me to come back and to pull 25 or 30 pounds of peppers off of these plants is unfreaking real, and I owe it all to the people on the hot pepper, the friends on YouTube, the people that are helping me out at every turn. And if you have any questions or comments, if you have anything that you really need help with, just shoot me a message, man. I'd be more than happy to try to share what little knowledge I have. But hey, it's work for me. It's like, wow. Pushing on 16 minutes is going to take all night to upload. This is what happens when you eat peppers. You start getting in that euphoria zone and you want to just talk. And this is like a perfect forum for that. With all the craziness going on in the world today, just sharing heat with friends is, it makes it all worth it. So thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys taking the time out. I know it's tough watching some dude ramble for close to 20 minutes, but this was definitely a good pod. Overall, it's got a great amount of heat. It's got a pretty good flavor. I mean, it's got a better flavor. I mean, I watched John, the Italian Stallion, eat it, or I want to say, yeah, he ate one. No, Cunt Mutter ate it, and he was talking about how chili head should, if you're a chili head, then it'd be best for you to put it in your food. In my experience, like I think it's got a pretty great flavor. I have a handful of them. Oh, really quickly, the plant grows. It's crazy. It's almost like aroma, like a what's that stuff? The tomatoes that grow out and they all ripen at the same time. That's pretty much how my the Primos are. I had about 50 pods on it, and it all ripened at the same time. So I sent a bunch out to a bunch of buddies, and I have a handful of them in the freezer, and I'll break them down into powders and stuff later on. But the plant, it's about 2-3 feet tall, so about a meter tall, and it had about 50 pods on it, and it's got a couple more popping out, but really cool looking. It's got like purple in the stems, smaller leaves, and it's a pretty decent producer. Not as heavy a producer as some like the Brockapore or the original or the Knot 7-pot white. I think this is the last name being Carbon. So it's got it's definitely worth growing, and it's got some ridiculous heat. So, oh wow, rambled enough. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys taking the time out, and I'll get this video up, and hopefully in the next like 17 days I can get it uploaded. So, hey, thanks for watching, man.